So, today I'm going to talk to you about 5 ways to become a productivity powerhouse. This is going to allow you to just get more shit done in your business. It's going to allow you to spend more time with your family, achieve a better work-life balance, and get rid of all of those swirling thoughts that keep you up all night in your head of all of the things you have to do. Help you to really conquer that overwhelm. So step number 1 in this system is to brain dump. This is something that I do at least once a day. Sometimes I do this 2 or 3 times a day, depending on how active my brain is going. So what I'm going to go into my trusty Evernote here. And I have a notebook here called Heather's Brain Dump that I created for the purpose of this exercise. I'm going to go into this notebook and I'm going to create a new note in here. And I'm just going to give it today's date. So today is June 8th, and I'm going to call this brain dump. Whoops, not brain dump, brain dump. And what I'm going to start writing here, I'm going to, set a timer for 5-10 minutes and just start writing down everything you have in your head. So different things that I have in my head today are I need to work on my social media strategy. I need to build my training course for Success Society, etc. It may be things like I need to book an appointment with the dog groomer. Might be things like Father's Day is coming up. What do I need to do? I need to find out where's Father's Day being held, all of these things. So absolutely everything that's in your mind. It could even be something as silly as, is so-and-so mad at me? It could just be something like, any random thought that pops into your head. You're just going to put it in here. Okay, so take 5-10 minutes. Sometimes I'll have 50 things on this list. It's just all of the things that I need to do, all of the things that I want to do, all of the things that I'm thinking about that don't really matter. I'm just going to completely empty my brain. Now the next step to this is that I'm going to declutter. So now I'm going to go back through my list and I'm just going to delete anything that I can't really do anything about. So things like, is so-and-so mad at me? I'm just going to delete that. Take that right off the list, right? Anything that you cannot control. Or, is dad going to like his gift? You can't really control that, right? So you're just going to take it right off the list. And that is a process of decluttering. So now I've emptied my brain. I know that everything is out of my brain. I can feel better. I can sleep better. I can be more clear. And it's also going to allow me to be more productive when I'm actually in here working on things, because I'm not going to have all of these things coming in and out of my brain. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're just going to find some commonality. So you might have things like that are all administrative, okay? And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a few other notes within this. So I'm going to call this one admin. I'm going to call this one social media. I'm going to call this one website. I'm going to call this one customers. I'm going to call one personal, etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find commonality. I'm going to go back to my brain dump and I'm going to go through my list. And so social media strategy would go under social media. I'm just going to move that there. So I'm just going to do a quick copy and I'm going to paste it here. Building training course for Success Society. So this might go for me under admin. Things like booking an appointment with the dog groomer, that's personal. I'm going to stick it under personal. So this is going to allow you, by categorizing, it's going to allow you to get all of the things done in the same category. which is going to mean that you're going to be able to power through more at a time. So if I had 5 different things having to do with social media, it means that I can go on social media, I can schedule all those posts, I can get all this stuff done, and I can get it done a lot faster because I'm not popping in and out throughout the week. Now what we're going to do is we're going to prioritize. So what I'm going to show you here, and if you've watched my video lead up on how to use Evernote, you already know that I've created a number of different priority lists here. And I've got things like daily, now, next, soon, later, someday, and maybe. So what I can do is I can actually move each of these notes into different priorities. So if I go back into my brain dump, I want you to move your personal stuff always into a high priority. These are things that you just need to get done. Your self-care could be in here. It could be something like going to yoga class. I want you to prioritize that above all else. If it's something like you need to take your kids to dance class, I want you to prioritize that really as a 1 or a 2. You may also have something, I'm actually going to change my admin to be deliverables. So deliverables would be things like stuff that I need to get to my clients because I've committed to them. For this example, I sit on the board of Sophisticated CEOs with Success Society, and I've committed to doing 3 webinar trainings over the course of 3 months and a blog entry every single week. So that would be a deliverable. It's something that I have to get done this week. So deliverables are going to sit up there as a priority number 1. So once I kind of can see, what are my priority 1s? What are my priority 2s? What are my priority 3s? What can wait? What can't wait? I'm going to go in here and so there's 2 ways that you can do this. Either you can move these notebooks into so I can actually go in here and I can move the notes into a different notebook, or I can copy them into a different notebook, or whatever it is that you want to do. So I can share the note, share the notebook, I can do whatever it is. I can just copy and paste that right into any of my different things that I have to do. Or what I like to do is I just like to go in here and I just like to put a 1 beside this because I'm going to move it over into my calendar anyways. So here I'm going to put a 1 because deliverables are really important. Social media, I'm going to put a 2. These are things that I definitely want to get to, et cetera, et cetera. So website, maybe I'm thinking I want to make some changes to my website. It's not really important. I'm going to put it as a 4 because that can wait. Now what we're going to do is we're going to calendarize. This is your accountability piece. This is what is going to set your course for your entire week. So I like to use my iCalendar, and the only reason I like to do this is because it will show up in my phone and start buzzing at me on my phone and things like that when things are coming up. I can view it across all of my devices. So you can use your Google Calendar. You can use a day planner, whatever it is. I like it for it to be digital because sometimes things come up, right? Sometimes things come up and you need to move things and it just makes it a little bit easier. So you can see here's an example of one of my weeks, and you can see that I have almost every single half-hour space here built out with things that I needed to do. So things like building training, even things like checking my email are in here. And this is important. You want to schedule yourself for things like checking your email, doing your social media, because these things, even checking your voicemail messages, because these things, if you leave them on throughout your day, they're going to kill your productivity. And I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I have to get to my emails right away. But I promise you, you don't. Check them twice a day. It means you're getting back to people within about 4 hours. That is a really great turnaround time. So I want you to schedule that into your day. And when it's not time to check your email or your social media or your voicemails, I want you to turn all those devices off completely so that there are no distractions. So if I'm in here and I'm, doing whatever this was at 11 a.m., changing our copy on blissfulbuttons.com for rep information. That's my apparel company. So what I'm going to do is when 11 o'clock rolls around, I'm going to go to my phone. I'm going to set a timer for 50 minutes. The reason I do it for 50 minutes and not for the full hour is because it allows me to take that 10-minute break to really prepare myself for the next piece. Okay, I want you to be really real with yourself here as well on how long different things take. Sometimes I have things that'll take me 15 minutes. So in a half-hour time slot, I might put 2 things. Sometimes I have things like this here that take me a few hours. I want you to be really real on how long things are going to take you. Now, what I want you to do when you're calendarizing, I want you to start with your deliverables. So those are all of the things that you need to do, and start with the ones that are already scheduled. So things like taking your kids to dance class or your yoga class, those things are things that are scheduled in your life. You put them into your calendar first. Appointments with clients. If you have a 9 to 5 job or another job that you do, you're going to put all of those things into your calendar first. And then you're going to move on to your highest priority. Typically, your highest priority, those are going to be, after your deliverables, those are going to be the ones that make you the money the fastest. Okay? So things like following up with clients and referrals and things like that, those are going to be the next things that you calendarize. And then I want you to move into anything that's your longer term growth opportunities. So things like social media. That's something that doesn't make you money overnight. It's something that will, however, give you that long-term growth strategy. So I want you to do those next. And then I want you to fill in with all of those other little things with whatever time you have left. Anything that you cannot schedule, that you do not have time for, I want you to look at delegating it or leaving it to next week. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create a new note in here, and I'm going to call this delegate or next week. So anything that I had, let's say I wanted to change my copy on my website about page. This is something that maybe I will delegate to my assistant Kay. Okay. Anything that you weren't able to get to. If it is a delegate activity, this may even be something that go into your notebook, go into your Who. I'm going to create a new notebook for Kay. I like to use my little, just so that if all of my notebooks are in a row, these things show up near the top. I'm going to add Kay to my Who stack. And I'm going to put this stuff in here. So I'm going to say delegate, and I'm going to say I need her to change copy on website about page. Now what I can do is I can take this list and I can send it over to Kay. So I can go into share and I can actually share the note right with her. So those are just some ways to really becoming a productivity powerhouse. I want you to, number one, brain dump. Take everything that's in your head. I want you to get rid of it, get it down on paper, get it down on your Evernote, whatever it is that you're using. Then I want you to declutter. Scratch off anything that doesn't matter or that you can't do anything about. Now it's out of your brain, it's out of your head, it's out of your life. Then I want you to find that commonality. So different categories for different work, that's going to help your productivity. Prioritize these things. So what needs to get done now? What's your deliverables? What are the things that are going to help you make money the fastest? What are some things that other people can help you out with? And if you don't have an assistant or you haven't delegated these things, look at other things in your life. Are you doing housework? Can you hire a housekeeper? In that 4 hours or however long it takes you to clean your house, I can guarantee you that you can probably make more money than doing what you do than you would pay that housekeeper. So I want you to go ahead and do that. Okay? And then the last thing is to calendarize. So make sure that your week, that your calendar looks like this. Fill it up. Make time for everything. What this is going to allow you to do is now, the next time something passes through your head, you're going to be able to say, that's already scheduled in my week. Now you can go back to sleep. Now you can get back to your day. You can get back to whatever it is that you're working on and prioritizing.